Bruce Lee was tested. Can you beat me in one move? By Tyson. His technique left Mike stunned. Bruce Lee was tested. Can you beat me in one move? By Tyson. His technique left Mike stunned. Mike Tyson adjusted his bandaged fists, his dark eyes fixed on Bruce Lee as if he were sizing up an opponent before a title fight. The gym was nearly empty except for the few of Lee's students and a few curious trainers who had stopped to watch. The air smelled of sweat and leather, the echo of punches on the punching bag still resounding off the walls. A movement? Tyson repeated, his voice hoarse, almost a challenge. Are you serious? Bruce smiled, lightly, almost amused. It wasn't arrogance, it was the confidence of someone who knew that combat wasn't about brute force, but about precision, timing, and the ability to see what others couldn't. He positioned himself, his bare feet firmly on the mat, his hands loose at his sides. Try to touch me, said Bruce. Just once. If you succeed, I'll consider the bet lost. Tyson snorted in disbelief. He had knocked men down with a single punch, broken jaws with a hook. But Bruce Lee? The man was fast, yes, but also small, thin, agile, a dancer compared to the power of a heavyweight. That didn't make sense. Okay, you freak, Tyson grumbled, moving forward. He didn't hold back. It wasn't his style. The first blow was a straight right, quick but predictable. Bruce dodged it with minimal movement of his torso, as if the air around him had pushed him to the side. Tyson tried a left hook next, but Bruce was no longer there. He moved into Tyson's guard, so close that the boxer felt his hot breath on his face. And then it happened. Bruce didn't punch. Didn't kick. Didn't grab it. He simply touched an outstretched finger, almost a caress, on the side of Tyson's neck, just below his ear. A point Wing Chun masters called the Gate of Death, where a precise strike could cut off blood flow to the brain. Tyson froze. There was no pain, not right away. Just a strange feeling, like someone had pulled a light bulb inside his head. His knees gave out. He tried to steady himself, but the world spun, colors blending, sounds muffled. When he fell to his knees, it wasn't because of a knockout, but because his body simply stopped responding. Bruce crouched down beside him, his expression serene. The human body is a reaction machine, he explained, as if he were giving a lesson. You depend on strength, on impact. But true martial art isn't about breaking bones, it's about controlling the system. One touch here, he pointed to his own neck, and the brain shuts down. Not from pain, but from instinct. The body protects itself before it even understands what happened. Tyson blinked, trying to clear his vision. The dizziness slowly passed, but the shame burned worse than any knockout. He stood up, shaking his head as if he could shake off the humiliation. That was cheating, he muttered, but there was no anger in his voice. Just incredulity. Bruce laughed, a light, almost musical sound. There are no rules in real combat, Mike. Only winners and losers. Tyson looked down at his hands, the fists that had destroyed so many opponents. Then he looked at Bruce, small, unarmed, but somehow invincible. Not by force, but by mind. I want to learn this, Tyson said suddenly. It wasn't a request. It was a surrender. Bruce studied him for a long moment. He had taught many, actors, wrestlers, even military men. But Tyson was different. A man who carried fury like armor, who saw the world in terms of domination. Teaching him wouldn't just be about technique. It would be about breaking a mindset. You're going to have to forget everything you know, said Bruce finally. And start from scratch. Tyson nodded, once. There was no longer any challenge in his eyes. Just respect. Years later, on a cold night in Las Vegas, Mike Tyson took to the ring against an opponent many considered unbeatable. The crowd roared, the cameras flashed, but Tyson barely heard. He took a deep breath, remembering the lessons, not just the blows, but the patience. The gong sounded. His opponent advanced, confidently, launching a straight shot. Tyson didn't dodge. It didn't block. He felt the movement, as Bruce had taught him, and at the exact moment the punch approached, he moved, not back, but inward, a sidestep so subtle the other fighter didn't even notice. His right hand rose, not to strike, but to touch. One finger. 1 point. The opponent fell like a puppet with its strings cut. The gym was silent. Tyson turned to the camera, dark eyes glowing with something that was no longer anger. It was understanding. That, he said, his voice hoarse, was for Bruce. And for the first time in his career, Mike Tyson did not celebrate victory with a scream. He just smiled. End.